Hello guys, and welcome to Ride VIP, the Rideshare channel. My name is Serge, and in today's video, I'm not wearing my black shirt. Instead, I'm wearing a white shirt because I'm a good person. But anyways, all jokes aside, today I'm actually headed to a vacation. But I posted one more video for you guys, and it's me doing some private rides. And lately, I've been doing a lot of them and making lots of moolah. But anyways, instead of just keeping it all to myself, I've been sharing it with you guys. And I see a lot of you guys commenting different things, and some of you guys are happy for me, some of you guys are sad, some of you probably want me to get kicked off the platform, but some of you guys are a bit concerned and hoping that I will not get kicked off, but if I will, to make sure I have a backup plan. So let's talk about the backup plan, and let's talk about the reasons why I should get kicked off, because I don't think I should get kicked off, because if you think that way, that means you have slave mentality. You're forgetting that you're a contractor. You're not an employee. And if you're working for Uber and Lyft, so let's say you're working for Uber, should Uber then kick you off because you're working for Lyft, or should Lyft kick you off because you're working for Uber? Or should you get kicked off of both platforms because you're working for some other third party? This is really not how it works, guys. I think you guys are really having this confused. The only thing that can possibly happen from all this private rides that I'm doing is that possibly I could get a slap on the wrist for not having the proper licensing, and I'm not saying I don't, but if you don't have the proper licensing to do this, like a taxi or a limo license, and you could possibly get in trouble. And the other things that can happen is that if you don't have the proper license and you have the people in your car, something, if it happens, you sort of gonna be screwed, right? Kind of, right? But that all means also, do you have, like if you're doing rideshare, do you have rideshare insurance? You know, do you have commercial insurance? Are you going to be covered? So when you do stuff outside of the platform and you're doing private rides, Uber and Lyft does not have nothing to do with it. That is all you. If you're saying to the people that you're doing this for Uber, right, on the side, then yeah, for that, I guess you should be kicked off, because that is completely wrong. If you're choosing to get yourself a private client, Uber does not own the rights to that client, and so doesn't Lyft. Uber and Lyft both has that client, and if you have your own rideshare platform, then you have the freedom to compete with them. Now, if Uber, for instance, kicks me off for getting their specific clients, that would mean that they got a monopoly somehow. And monopoly is illegal, and for monopoly you get sued, and you basically get, how should I say, like a large corporations that have a monopoly, they will get basically broken apart. So don't think just because I am doing private rides, somehow I'm taken away from Uber. I am not. This is free for all. So if you're over there trying to, you know, do the private rides, you can build your own business. You should build your own business. If you don't, and you get kicked off, you will feel bad that you didn't build your own business, because now, like, what are you gonna do? But when that person is in your car, they're in your car, Uber does not own that client. They might have information, they might have booked with them that one time. But if you speak to these people, they got private drivers. Sometimes they get a ride for Lyft, sometimes from Uber, sometimes from a limo. You know, like, it all depends on what they want. And most of these people, especially businessmen, they want their own private ride. And they want to be able to work with a person that they could trust. They want to be able to work with a person that is always on time, that can pick them up and get them to where they gotta go. They want to make sure they get the person that's reliable, that's clean, that they know like what to expect, what kind of car to expect. Sometimes they have a preference. In some cases, they may prefer something like a Tesla. In other cases, they might want a large Cadillac Escalade. But, you know, if they're selected like Uber Black or something, right? But maybe Suburban shows up. Maybe they're still okay with the Suburban, basically like a Cadillac. But maybe some other one shows up that they don't like. That could happen. So they much rather get a driver, sometimes a private driver, that they can rely on, they could depend on, they could trust their family to. And when they call you to pick up their family or their kids or whatnot, they know you, they know what to expect, they know you're gonna take care of their family. So they can't always rely on Uber or Lyft or another third-party rideshare provider to provide them with exact driver that they can depend on. Because sure, there's lots of great people out there, there's lots of bad people out there, you know. So you want to make sure that you work with somebody that you could trust if you're somebody that's trying to get a driver. So with all that being said, guys, when I'm getting this work, first of all, I find them at airports, I find them at hotels, I find them at big events like music festivals, any kind of festivals, games and whatnot, and usually if you go to the hotels that's near the airport, some of those hotels already has a shuttle. So that may or may not work for you unless somebody does not want to take a shuttle and they want to take your service instead. But I bet you, if you go to like one of these hotels that you normally take people to, maybe 4 or 5 miles away from the airport, they may not have a shuttle. But even if they do, if you will park there like somewhere kind of close and you're just Uber, right? Well, I'm saying Uber. You may be Uber, you may just say rideshare, you maybe put like a taxi or whatever. Make sure you protect yourself. Don't do the stuff with proper documentation. If you do, that's on you. And I never tell you to do it without it, because that is on you. I'm just sharing you guys kind of like what I'm doing, and I'm not going to tell you whether or not I have the proper stuff or not, because whatever you do, that's something you have to look out for yourself. See, I run things under a business. I have corporations opened up, and I'm basically doing everything legally as I am, with EIN number and other type of stuff that I have. Later on, I'm gonna share with you guys how I got it, how to get it, and whatnot. But I may not share it as well, because that may be something outside of the things that I can share legally. So I think in best case scenario, any kind of like tax type of stuff, you consult a tax professional. If you want insurance, consult an insurance professional. If you want business advice, talk to your CPA, talk to a lawyer or something, if you want proper documentation. So you should always do things properly and get license from your state, or city, because sometimes you need a city license because there's different ordinances and stuff. But anyways, with all that being said, guys, you're a contractor. You can find your own work. There's nothing wrong with you getting your own work. You should get your own work. There's lots of people doing it. There's lots of taxi drivers that's doing it. There's lots of limo companies and lots of rideshare companies. Now, if you don't know how Uber got started, look at Uber's story. Like, it's on YouTube. You could look it up. You could see what they had to go through in order to even have the rideshare company. They were going against the government. Like, seriously, they were doing some illegal stuff, guys. Seriously, illegal stuff. Government said, no, you cannot do rideshare. We're going to fine every single driver. So they were doing stuff like hacking, basically, like government, people and their phones. They would get their information, and they would basically prevent them from even getting a ride, prevent them from even seeing the availability of the different drivers and whatnot, because they didn't want to get fined. And they still pushed through, and they still illegally pushed their business through. So if you're thinking that I'm doing something illegal, like, look at what they're doing. Like, for instance, I mean, sure, right now everybody's used to the Uber platform because they broke through, but they had to fight the taxi companies. They had to lobby the hell out of this stuff. And now they open the doors for other people to say, well, I'm a rideshare. I mean, I could call this type of business, I'm sure, any type of work. Like, I could say, like, okay, this is going to sound funny. Okay, does escort service require a license? What about, what is that one? Concierge service, like a tourist guide, some kind of like a shuttle, like anything. Like, you could like call it like anything, like outside of the bounds of like even rideshare. See, that's kind of like the gray area. They didn't say they're taxi, because for taxi you need a license. For limo you need a license. But rideshare, all it means is I'm sharing my ride with my friends, with like my co-workers. You're sharing your ride on the way to somewhere. That is different. That's not limo, that's not taxi, that's ride sharing. You're basically sharing your ride. So what's the legalities in that? I mean, when I looked it up, and stuff, all I could see is limo, and I could see taxi. There's licenses for those, and for you to do those, you got to have a special license. That's why there's Uber Black. They require you to do it, but Lyft doesn't require you to do Black service. They just have you do it anyways, because they probably classify it as something else. You're just getting a black card. So there's just all these different, how should I say, red tape you got to go through sometimes. And sometimes you just got to push through. And I know, like, a lot of you guys thinking that if I start my own rideshare company, that I'm not going to be successful. You know, I've been told many times in my life I'm going to be not successful in something, but guess what? I already created my own app. I haven't. It's a total of 5 apps. I'm not using it yet because right now there's just like no real reason for me to use it, you know. But I'm getting all the proper stuff set up as we speak, or have set up already some stuff, and I'm going forward with it. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care if a single person signs up for it. Just really don't care. This is not why I do stuff. I do stuff because I want to. Like, if you have a plan and you want to do something, just go ahead and do it. Don't wait till somebody tells you you're gonna be successful or not successful. Because after all, who do you think I'm gonna take advice from? Definitely not gonna be my subscribers. Like, I will ask for advice, but I will not take advice from you, because a lot of you guys are just like me, right? And you may not know. So if I'm asking a question, then who I really should be asking? Somebody that already has done it. And that's who I'm going to ask, and that's who I'm going to take the information from. You shouldn't be taking anybody's information, including mine, off the YouTube as like real legit information. You should always question everything. You should always do your own research. You should always take things with a grain of salt. And just because it's on YouTube doesn't mean that it's real. Like, all of the stuff that I'm doing could easily be staged. Like, I could be like flashing money around. I could go pull some money out the bank, flash some money around, and claim to you guys, oh, I done all these jobs, right? Maybe I haven't done nothing. Maybe I've done zero, okay? But it's kind of funny to me, guys, how some of you guys that's commenting, you're like, oh, man, oh, if Dara sees this, oh, he's definitely going to ban you. He's going to definitely kick you off Uber. Like, how do you prove that I even done it? Maybe I flashed some money around. Maybe I did it for, how should I say, for clout, right? What is another term for it? Like, capping, you know. Maybe I'm just trying to get YouTube views. Maybe I'm trying to get like Insta famous or something, like, and I'm just like flashing money around. You think like rappers haven't done it before, that don't even have money, they just flash a bunch of fake money around? Like, how do you even know that money is real, that it's like not stage props, you know? So you have to look at the stuff on YouTube and look at it and take it with a grain of salt. This could be completely fake information. This could be people just capping, as they say, right? They could just be flashing money around to get your attention so that you click on their videos and they get a bunch of views and they make money, and then they buy a Tesla, like me, right? For YouTube. Because ever since I started posting stuff about Tesla, guess what? The channel's been blowing up. This channel started out less than a month ago making only $27 a month. Now it's making almost $200. So guess what? I'm telling you, like, you do something, you post it, you're gonna make money at it. And this is not the only channel that's making money. I bet by the time I get ready to order a Tesla, this channel is gonna be making enough money for me to basically buy a Tesla, outside of my other channels, which I can already buy a Tesla. And my main channel has already paid me enough money. Like, if I had that money sitting around, I could have went and bought a Tesla, for instance, right? But all I'm trying to say by this, guys, is be careful with the information that you receive. Think it through yourself. Do your own research. Just because somebody says something is true doesn't mean it's necessarily true, and doesn't mean that it's not true. But you should always ask questions. You should always do things by thinking yourself. Don't listen to somebody. Like, don't even listen to me, right? So the benefit that comes out of listening to some of these people on YouTube, right, is that sometimes you get some ideas. But when you get that idea, think it through, try it out, see if it works for you. But just because somebody says it works doesn't mean that it works, right? But with that being said, guys, I am doing private rides. I will continue doing private rides. And being kicked off Uber will not impact anything for me to pick up private rides because of the way that I do it. I could easily make money. I could easily go out there and make money. But the strategy has changed, because now that I'm not going to be a slave to Uber, it means I'm not going to work at night to make money. Because before, I had to stay up all night for 12 hours to make money, just to make $200 to $250, and hoping to make $300 for the whole night. And then I'm putting all those miles in the car. Well, guess what? I cut down my miles right now by half. Seriously, I'm not working as hard. I'm working a lot smarter now. I'm a little bit more target focused. Like, where's my customer at? That's what I'm looking at. And with that being said, gears are shifting a little bit, and the strategy is shifting. So I'm more going to be working now in early mornings, let's say like from 4 a.m. or maybe like even like a little bit after, like 5, but maybe like from 4 a.m. 4 a.m. works. Why from 4 a.m.? It's because that morning crowd, there's people that's going to be flying in. There's people that's going to be going to the airports. There's people that's doing a lot of different stuff. There's a lot of stuff happening. There's people at hotels that need to get to the airport. So that means in either case, I could either go to the airport, see a big line, sneak in there, for instance, right? Well, not sneak in there, but you know what I'm saying. Get in there, go straight over there, and just basically say that you're available to some people. And believe me, they'll get in your car. You know, if you're somebody that's trustworthy, you know, if you have a Tesla, they'll definitely get in. Because people are soft when it comes to Teslas. They'll get in because it's a nice car. You know, it's new. They look professional when they get in. They're getting a much nicer car for maybe same money or maybe less than what they could get, you know. But I'm actually charging more. I'm charging more than Uber charges, guys. So for people to even say yes to me, they have to like know like they're spending this extra money. Like, does it even make sense to them? I literally charge more. For just my recent ride that I did, I charged $80 to go 28 miles, and he paid me $100. That is just one example. I've also taken some people less destination. Like I'm talking about like 8 to 12 mile. Yeah, I can't remember exactly. Got paid $230. So and I was told I'm gonna get more corporate work from them. Like they're gonna be contacting me directly. They're like, give me a bunch of business cards. They said, give me a bunch of them because we're gonna basically spread them around. They're like, you're gonna get so much corporate work. Like now, like man, like they've really enjoyed me. They gave me hugs at the end of the ride, guys. Who gives that? Do you get hugs from your Uber passengers or Lyft passengers? I bet you don't. So it depends on what kind of level of service you provide. So to me, it's a little funny because some of you guys saying it, because you know a lot of you guys are like-minded individuals, but some of you guys think like I should get kicked out or I got kicked out for a reason, and you have all these excuses, right? I don't know what it is, but that's kind of funny because my rating speaks for itself. It was a 5-star rating with Lyft, and I don't even care that they kicked me out because guess what? They kicked me off, I'm making more money now. Because everything happens for a reason. Uber kicks me off, I'll be making even more money. Guess what? Because I'm not even going to waste time driving for them. I'm going to basically then promote myself. And guess what, guys? I will tell you a couple more things that I'm already working on. I'm building my own website right now. I'm building my own social media presence when it comes to private rides. Building that up, and I'll be promoting myself even more, and I'll share with you guys how that goes in case you want to build the same thing. See, I'm sharing this to help you guys if you want to learn from it. And like I said earlier, maybe my information is false, so like don't take my advice or take my advice. It's up to you. At the end of the day, you're the one that's making decisions, and you should decide for yourself what is best for you, and always make sure you protect yourself. Look into the legalities and stuff. But also know, if you overanalyze, you're not going to get anywhere. So, with that being said, I'm out. Nice to talk to you guys. Take care. See you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.